What up, world? It's movie talk, man. I know when I talked about my favorite comic movies last month, I said that I might do Pixar movies this month because Inside Out came out this month. But I changed my mind, man, because The Good Dinosaur comes out in November. So I figure with franchises or studios as far as like Marvel, Pixar, eventually DC, stuff like that, I'll wait until their last movie of the year comes out and then just update my list. So like Marvel next month, I'll do Pixar in November after The Good Dinosaur comes out. And then yeah, like I already did DreamWorks, and DreamWorks has one or two coming out next year. Kung Fu Panda 3 in January. But I mean, I'll decide on that later. So I decided my favorite 90s movies. I usually do 10. I'm gonna technically do 11 because I got it to 11 and I couldn't decide which one I wanted to take off. So everything eligible came out between 90 and 99. If you're a 91 to 2000 enthusiast, sorry, I'm not counting anything from 2000. That'll be in my list of 2000 movies. If I do that, you know what I'm saying? Haven't decided on future videos. Just to shout out a couple that I did take off that I really didn't want to, man. Um, The Lion King, my favorite Disney movie. It's a classic. Um, the first two Austin Powers movies came out in '97 and '99. Helped mold my sense of humor. So funny, man. The original is hilarious, but the Spy Who Shagged Me just got so over the top and just so ridiculous, man. It was so funny. The first Bad Boys with Will Smith, man. Martin Lawrence, one of my favorite action movies of all time. So just to get into it, man, I'm gonna go chronologically. I didn't arrange them as like I like this one over this one, man. So I'm gonna go oldest to newest. So the first movie I'm gonna talk about, man, is Goodfellas. It shares the title of my favorite Martin Scorsese movie with The Departed. Um, De Niro, Pesci, Ray Liotta. It's a classic, man. It's my favorite mafia movie. It's arguably my favorite Robert De Niro movie if I was to do a list on him. Because of my love for the Lethal Weapon series, I don't know where it would rank in Joe Pesci, you know what I'm saying? And in Home Alone. But like, man, like it's long as fuck, but it's intentionally long for a purpose. It's based on a book called Wise Guys. I think it was written by Nicholas Pileggi or something along those lines. Um, like Jimmy Conway instantly became my favorite character. It's so quotable. Joe Pesci and Ray Liotta and the how am I funny scenario. Do I look like a clown? Do I amuse you? The chronicle, like the movie is 25 years old, man. So I don't give a fuck if you haven't seen it. Go watch it. You've had time. Ray Liotta's come up from when he was a little kid and how he got in with Paulie and befriended Joe Pesci and and Robert De Niro, and then how things took a turn for the worse and how he ended up in witness protection. Like it's one of my favorite movies ever. Not just 90s movies, not just mafia movies, man. Goodfellas is one of my favorite movies ever. And next, I'm going to talk about Jurassic Park. Jurassic World kind of inspired this video. I rewatched the original Jurassic Park movies, the first three. Man, this movie is such a game changer. This might be my favorite Steven Spielberg movie. In a year when he did two movies, man, Jurassic Park and Schindler's List, neither of those movies, like, neither of them have any, like, shortcomings, man. Like, Spielberg put his everything into both these movies, man. You're invested in you go for the dinosaurs, but you're invested in the humans. Um, Sam Neill, Laura Dern, Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum's the scene stealer. One of Samuel L. Jackson's earliest roles, along with Goodfellas. Wayne Knight. You see Newman from Seinfeld, and you just know he's no good. The scene when they first show the T-Rex, man, that shit is so tense. Um, and even the Raptors. The I don't remember what he's called. I call him the Spitter. He took out Wayne Knight. That fucking dinosaur is scary. Um, The effects, man. The robotic dinosaurs as opposed to the CG dinosaurs, man. Like it's a game changer for special effects. It's a game changer for movies in general, man. And because of how good this movie was, like that's why Jurassic World, in my opinion, did so well when it came out. I mean, there's not much I can say about this movie that hasn't been said, man. It has so much rewatchability because this movie is so good. No other major studios try to do dinosaur movies, man. Has anybody noticed that shit? Next, I got True Lies. I think this is Arnold Schwarzenegger's most underrated movie, man. I think this is James Cameron's most underrated movie, man. Um, and it's, the cast is perfect, man. Schwarzenegger, Jamie Lee Curtis, even Tom Arnold, man. They're all just perfectly cast as just the Schwarzenegger and Tom Arnold are spies. Jamie Lee Curtis is married to Schwarzenegger, thinks he's a businessman. They all get pulled into some terroristic takeover, world domination plot, and I think due to 9/11, I heard is why there was never a sequel. Good, leave it alone. Don't remake it. Don't try to make it a TV show. Leave it alone, man. It's a perfect one and done movie, man. I did my favorite Schwarzenegger movies last year sometime, I think, when Sabotage came out. And this is my favorite Schwarzenegger movie. I love Predator. I love The Terminators. I love Total Recall. I love Kindergarten Cop. But True Lies is my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. It's so cool. It's so funny. It's so entertaining. Tia Carrera's in it. Um, a young Eliza Dushku plays their daughter. And I mean, just when you think that Arnold saved the day, man, there's like one last thing he has to do, and then Bill Paxton, man. Bill Paxton was such a pussy in this movie. Next on my list is Pulp Fiction. Um, you could easily make a case for this being Quentin Tarantino's best movie. Reservoir Dogs was already out, and people were aware of him, but this put him on the map. Another movie perfectly casted. John Travolta, Samuel L. Jackson, Uma Thurman, Ving Rhames, Eric Stoltz, Bruce Willis, Christopher Walken. The Royale with cheese. What ain't no country I ever heard of? Do they speak English on what? Say what again? Um, Man, like, I love this movie, man. I love how it's not like start to finish in order, man. It's told in chapters and pieced together. You gotta really be paying attention. The whole dance between Travolta and Uma Thurman. She OD'd on the coke. You had to fucking inject her in the heart through her breastplate and all that shit, and she was bleeding out the nose and she woke up. I mean, this movie is fucking iconic, man. Just reach in there and grab me my wallet. Which one is it? The one that say bad motherfucker on it. I love it, man. I mean, Tarantino has done so many classics. When The Hateful Eight comes out, I'll rank my favorite Tarantino movies, and this is top three. I just because of Kill Bill, because of Django and Glorious Bastards. Jackie Brown is his most underrated movie. Make me want to watch it right now, man. Next, 1994 impacted the shit out of me. Cause next on this list is Dumb and Dumber. I've done a Jim Carrey video, and this is my favorite Jim Carrey movie. 1994 was the year of Jim Carrey. Ace Ventura came out in February. The Mask came out in June or July. Dumb and Dumber came out in December. Um, I mean, they were so stupid, but the story and the dialogue was so clever, and you just like you felt dumb because they were so dumb. You always put yourself in Harry and Lloyd's shoes, and what would they do trying to get to Aspen, and then what they were trying to figure out her name, and Swami Samsonite, and then yeah, they said Samsonite was on the briefcase, and it ended up being Swanson, and the sequel fucked it up because they fucked up her last name, like they forgot her name or something, and yeah, Jeff Daniels said Samsonite, but they like I don't even want to talk about the sequel. It was disappointing. But yeah, Dumb and Dumber is a classic. The Farrelly Brothers' best movie. A case can be made for Something About Mary. But I say that I say Dumb and Dumber is their best movie. I say it's Jim Carrey's best movie. I say it's one of the funniest movies ever in my book, man. If I did top 10 comedies, this would be on that list definitely. It won't be number one, man, because my favorite comedy is a movie that might be in my 2000s list. Next, I got a movie that impacted the shit out of my childhood, molded me as far as the hip hop culture, and it would I don't think it'd be on anybody else's list as far as favorite '90s movies. But that's for me. That's Friday. Ice Cube, Chris Tucker, Tommy Lister Jr., Nia Long, Johnny Witherspoon, Bernie Mac, adult cast directed by F. Gary Gray, who was sweeping the floors in a convenience store. And when Smokey went to he went somewhere to buy some shit. When Red was talking about my neck, my back, my neck and my back, he said, "Man, get your punk ass up. It ain't even wet over here." But man, like the way Boys in the Hood ended with the clothes that Cube was wearing, everybody should know this shit. That's how Craig woke up wearing the same shit in Friday. Craig and Smokey, man, just chilling on the porch all fucking day, man. That's all I've ever wanted to mold my life over is just fucking buying a house with a stoop and just having a fucking lawn chair out there and chilling on the porch all fucking day. I know I can't get paid doing that shit. That's why I don't do it. And Barbershop 3 is coming out, man. So I got my fingers crossed for Friday 4 with Chris Tucker. We need Chris Tucker in Friday 4. If you haven't seen it, man, like please, like fucking I doubt it's on Netflix, but Redbox this shit. Amazon direct movie or whatever the fuck it's called. It's got to be on Amazon. Um, yeah, like Smokey's trying to sell some weed. Big Worm need his money. Big Worm threatened both of them because Smokey ain't sell the shit. He ain't got enough money. It's a classic, man. If you don't think Friday is a classic, I can't fuck with you. Next, I got spoiler alert for my November video. My favorite Pixar movie, Toy Story. I mean Buzz Lightyear, Woody, voiced by Tom Hanks and Tim Allen. Those two were cast perfect. Andy's the kid, and Woody is like the leader of the toys. He's Andy's favorite toy. He's in the perfect world until Buzz Lightyear comes in. Andy's birthday. He's got like voice activation, pop out wings. He shoots lasers, and he's cool. There's this jealousy that Woody develops, and they both get lost, and it's like a survival movie. How are Buzz and Woody gonna get home? And then just the supporting cast is so funny, man. Mr. Potato Head, Rex, the aliens, Sid, the villain, next door neighbor. The at the very end, man. At the very end, like the final little chase between Buzz, Woody, RC, and the dog. It's so exciting, and I love Toy Story, man. I'll be 9 years old again. Watch that shit. Watch all three of them. They're all like another spoiler alert. I'm gonna count Toy Story as just one movie, man. Toy Story 2, 3. They're all just one movie, man, and I can't wait for Toy Story 4. If I'm 31 years old, if I got a kid or not, I'm still gonna be watching that shit. Next on my list is Scream. Like Scream was so crazy. The very beginning, man, with Drew Barrymore with the killer, and like that was it. It wasn't like it was the dude with his guts falling out. That wasn't the shock value of the movie. The shock value of the movie was that they killed the biggest name, the most recognizable star in the first 5 minutes. I love this movie, man. I could vouch that the first Scream is one of the best slasher movies of all time, man. It's up there with A Nightmare on Elm Street. It's up there with Halloween. It's up there with Friday the 13th. It's up there with Child's Play. And in my book, it's up there because like these are real people, dressed up, grabbed a knife, grabbed a mobile telephone, what they called it in 1996, and started stalking people. And it's suspenseful. It's like you're in there. And I always connected to the shit because there's a character named Randy, and I'm always gonna be bitter that he died in Scream 2. I love the whole series. Honestly, 1, 2, and 3, and fuck MTV because they fucked up The Mask, and I will have no part of that show. I mean, and yeah, and the costume was creepy as shit, and like the dude who did it got arrested and like tried to make everybody think he was innocent, and I shouldn't have done this list, man, because I'm getting excited as fuck talking about all these movies. Just Nev Campbell, David Arquette, Courtney Cox, Skeet Ulrich, Rose McGowan, Matthew Lillard, Jamie Kennedy. I mean, there was a lot of people in this movie. And then Wes Craven cameoed as Freddy Krueger. I swear that was Freddy Krueger. That's why in the back of my head, Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream exist in the same world. Fuck what you heard. Next on my list is another one of my favorite action movies of all time, Face Off. My favorite Nicolas Cage movie. You can vouch for The Rock. You can vouch for Con Air. I like Snake Eyes. Kick Ass. But it was just I was 11, so the realisticness of this movie escaped me when I was 11. But they switched faces. That shit was so crazy. And then the prison with the magnetic boots. Nicolas Cage started off as the bad guy. Then he was the good guy. And he was in the prison. John Travolta woke up from the good guy as the bad guy and found out about everything that went on. So Nicolas Cage was trapped in the fucking prison. And then, I mean, it's just some epic shootouts when Nicolas Cage when the bad guy, fuck the actor, but when the bad guy's brother dies, that was a dope ass shootout. The shootout at the beginning was dope. What puts Nicolas Cage in a coma. The shootout at the end with the boat chase. I mean, now I'm 29, and now I realize how ridiculous the movie is. The whole concept is ridiculous. But if you've seen Spy, like, there's a Face-Off reference in that motherfucker, and it's hilarious. But yeah, this is still one of my favorite movies, one of my favorite action movies of all time. Next on this list, man, second to last video, we almost there. I won't speak too much on this movie because I talked about it in my Will Smith video a month or two ago, and that's Men in Black. Men in Black came out in 1997, like the week after Face Off. So if you think that Face Off, that my shit ain't in order, man, I know my shit. I'm telling you, I know y'all motherfuckers trying to type and trying to argue. Face Off came out at the end of June. Men in Black, y'all know in the 90s, Will Smith owned 4th of July. Independence Day in 96, Men in Black in 97. And, I mean, Marvel owns the Men in Black comic now, as far as I know. I might be wrong. But it's like an origin story, man. Will Smith is a New York City cop, has a run-in with an alien, gets recruited by Tommy Lee Jones, and then they have to go and save the galaxy that's hanging on the fucking collar of a cat. The wittiness, the banter, the script. Vincent D'Onofrio is the villain. I love this movie, man. I consider this movie an underrated classic. I like 2, I like 3, but clearly this is the best one. Last on this list is another movie that I consider an underrated classic, and that's American Pie. It's relatable. If you a virgin in high school, if you in high school period trying to get with a girl, you ain't even worried about school. You worried about getting with a female. Once again, man, like as with most of these movies, the banter, the dialogue, the chemistry with the cast, just making fun of the Shermanator, getting into a crazy ass situation like he did, like Jim did on the internet. It To an extent, man, it sucks that not a lot of this cast has done shit outside of this series. Like Stifler had his Road Trip, The Rundown, and whatever else he's done. And then like Jason Biggs was on Orange Is the New Black. I'm not sure if he still is. And Natasha, Tara Reid's friend, is also on Orange Is the New Black. Yeah, Allison Hannigan was in How I Met Your Mother, but aside from this series, man, like not a lot of other success has come from this cast. And I'll even vouch for American Pie 2, man. I love American Pie 2 just as much as the first one. So man, that's it. I know I talked about more than 10, but it's a longer video than usual. It is what it is, man. What are some of y'all favorite '90s movies that I didn't mention, man? Home Alone, The Matrix, Terminator 2, Last Action Hero, Aladdin, A Bug's Life. Um, I mean, dare I say Star Wars Episode 1. I mean, Demolition Man could have made my list. Comment. Like I said, next month I'm going to update my Marvel list. I have a Marvel video I did last year after Captain America Winter Soldier came out. I should have done it after Guardians. So basically, to know where Guardians, Avengers Age of Ultron, and Ant-Man rank among my favorite Marvel movies, man, watch that video next month. I got my favorite movies of the second quarter of the year coming. Blu-ray collection update coming. Reviews for Ted 2. Reviews for Terminator Genesis coming. Just stay tuned to my channel, man. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever it be, man. Peace.